Good evening, and welcome to our graduation festivities. We will begin this evening by celebrating our grade 8 graduates, followed by a celebration of our grade 12 class of 2021. This may not be the graduation we all expected, but this year has been full of the unexpected. But with these difficult times have come many life lessons that you can carry with you as you move forward in life. You're adaptable to change and can still be successful. You're resilient and can endure when life throws you challenges. And we've learned a lot about the importance of relationships with your family, friends, school peers, and teachers. Sometimes we have to miss something to realize how important it is to us. Grade 12s, as you watch the grade 8 presentation, we hope it brings back memories and reminds you of how far you have come and how much you've grown in the past 4 years. Grade 8s, as you watch the grade 12 presentation, allow it to motivate you. You will see how hard work pays off and where it can take you after you yourself graduate from Crestwood. But also pay attention to the photos throughout the presentation. Look at the smiles and the experiences high school has in store for you. School can be challenging and there will be difficulties, but don't forget to have fun along the way. These next 4 years will be a time to build memories and friendships that will last you a lifetime. We will begin this evening with the singing of O Canada, played by Mr. Mariano and the Crestwood Ensemble, followed by a land acknowledgement read by Mr. Sebastian Major.
Hello, everyone. We acknowledge today that the land that we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabeg, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Thank you.
On behalf of the CPC Executive Board, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Docks Drive-In Movie Theater Graduation Ceremony Double Feature. Like many of you, my daughter Julia came to Crestwood in grade 7. It's hard for me to believe that it's been 3 years since she graduated. After 30 years in education, I've come to know that every graduating class is unique and special. I do, however, believe that the grads that we're celebrating and honoring tonight are truly extraordinary. Congratulations to each and every one of you. You fill me with lion pride. I'm in awe of your perseverance and resilience. It would have been really easy to give up and lay blame on the pandemic for all the pain and hardship it's caused. But to your credit, you continued on. And despite unprecedented difficulties and unforeseeable circumstances, you continued to grow and learn and build friendships that will last a lifetime. That being said, you didn't do it alone. 2 groups of people have played a monumental role in getting you to this point. First and foremost, your parents. Please make sure at some point during the evening you give them a huge hug and let them know how much you love them and how much you appreciate the fact they sent you to a great school like Crestwood College. Crestwood College has the most remarkable staff, the most caring and dedicated group of educators I've ever seen. So please think about them over the next couple of weeks, and if you get a chance, send 1 or 2 of them a note letting them know how much they've meant to you. I still have all the notes from my former students, and every time I read them, they make me smile. All right,
Now we get on with the show.
This year, we are very fortunate to have two very special guest speakers for our grade 8 graduation. Madame Alex Doherty and Mr. Jeff Fong are recent retirees and spent 20 years or more with the Crestwood community teaching French and music respectively. Madame Doherty began her teaching career at Crestwood Lower School over 30 years ago, and lucky for us, she moved to the upper school when we opened in 2001. Before retiring last year, she was a great mentor and the much-loved head of French. She was the leader of the peer tutoring club, head coach of the badminton program, and mentor to all. Madame is one of the most caring and loving educators, and you are all very fortunate to have had her as your teacher in grade 7 French last year. It is my pleasure to introduce Madame Doherty.
Dear grade 8 graduates, parents, and faculty members, I'm so grateful to Vince Pagano and Lisa Nugent for inviting me on this very special day. I'm also so honored to be able to express the happiness and pride that I feel today. Graduates and parents, you have survived the roller coaster of grade 7 and 8. You've learned many academic lessons, but some of the things that you have learned about yourselves go way beyond your textbooks. Those are the things that you will need when you start your next step of your journey. You know that the most precious lesson of all is to appreciate those around you, because you know that you cannot stand alone. Yes, you can work and solve problems all by yourselves, but without others showing you kindness and support, you would not be as strong. From your parents to your teachers, your friends to the cafeteria staff, all of them have played a vital role in helping you become who you are today. So thank your parents, your teachers, and your friends for all their support throughout your school years. They have built bridges and helped you cross them, and then encourage you to build your own. So grade 8, next September, you will be starting a new chapter in your life. Take a deep breath, count to 10, and tackle each task one step at a time. I trust you. You are smart, you are strong, and you are resourceful. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. Take risk, go beyond expectations, and make mistakes. Yes, your mistakes are as important as your successes because they define you. So, start next September, welcoming new challenges and opportunities with a heart full of passion. I wish you a wonderful summer. Stay safe and healthy.
Mr. Jeff Fong also opened the school in 2001 and spent 20 years building and molding an outstanding music program at Crestwood. He spent endless hours conducting classes and jazz bands and taking students on music tours all around the U.S., including places like Washington and Nashville. Mr. Fong has instilled the love of music in many young students, and we are very happy to have him here to address our grade 8 graduating class.
Hi, and good evening to the grade 8 graduating class of 2021 and to the faculty, staff, and parents of Crestwood Preparatory College. It's my honor and privilege to have been asked to speak to you today and to offer my heartfelt congratulations to the grade 8 class for your achievement in reaching this pivotal milestone in your lives. It's a wonderful accomplishment and will no doubt be but one of many in your lifetime. I had the distinct pleasure of teaching most of you last year in your grade 7 music class. And like every teacher, it was my hope that I would be able to impart a lifelong love and appreciation of music to you in much the same way that my own high school music teacher did for me. You know that all of your teachers want you to succeed and to explore all the different possible avenues so you can discover the subject areas that really interest you and may eventually become your career path. which leads me to a bit of friendly advice that was passed down to me and actually made a huge difference in my own life. Growing up, some very wise mentors of mine pointed out to me that the happiest people in the world are usually those who follow a path in life doing something that they really loved. It makes getting up in the morning something to look forward to, and almost every day a pleasure. For me, it was pursuing a career in music and teaching, and you know something, I don't regret it for a second. Sure, there were other options that were available, but if I had pursued them for any reason, I know that I would have ultimately ended up unhappy. So I urge you to find your own passion and just go for it. Every day could be a gem. The other thing that I think all of us have noticed of late as being a disturbing trend is the very increasing number of intolerance that has become more and more prevalent in today's society. Racial intolerance to visible minorities and indigenous people is rampant, as is a surge in religious intolerance. Cases of blatant, bold-faced hatred stemming from opposing political viewpoints and so many atrocities long buried are now coming to light. So, to counteract this awful trend, what I would ask of all of you as the next generation of voices for the future is to always remember those fundamentals that were taught to you by the Crestwood community. One of the great things about Crestwood is that it has always encouraged and promoted strong moral values like strength of character, integrity, racial and religious tolerance, kindness, fairness, second chances, the acceptance of differences of opinion. All of these things can be found every day at Crestwood, and hopefully they will be forever woven into the fabric of your lives. And if you stick by them, you will make a difference in this world. Let me just close by saying that it's been a privilege to teach you all, and I wish you all the very best for the future. Thank you, and go CPC.
A valedictorian is a grade 8 graduating student who has contributed to the Crestwood community during both their grade 7 and 8 years. They are an individual who has excelled academically and has been involved in school life through sports and clubs. This individual is also someone who represents their class and has been a leader in their grade. I am honored to introduce this year's valedictorian. This young lady has been exemplary throughout what we can all describe as 2 very difficult years for young students. She has been able to support her peers both in school and online. She brings light to a room with her smile, and her positive attitude has helped many through a difficult time. Please welcome your grade 8 valedictorian, Miss Cindy Fang.
Good evening, Mr. Piano, Mr. Santamera, Mr. Keacock, Ms. Newton, teachers, students, and loving family. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you to all the teachers and staff who supported us through these last 2 years, both during in-person and online learning. And thank you to all the parents and guardians who've given us the support we needed to get through these past 2 years. I know it hasn't been easy. I'd like to start off my speech by introducing myself. My name is Cindy Fang, and this is my 2nd year at Crestwood. Some of you may know me as one of the 2 girls who walked down the hallways and talked extremely loudly. Or, if you weren't here last year, you may know me better as Lisa's bestie. When I was first told by Miss Newton that I was chosen to be valedictorian for our graduation to represent our graduating class and that I'd have the honor to speak in front of all of you today, I was shocked. The first thing I asked myself was, why me? Out of all my peers who have all worked so hard to get to where we are today, why me? The truth is, today is a day for all of us to celebrate and to be proud of all of our accomplishments. I know this isn't a high school graduation and that there won't be too much of a change next year, but our class is different. We're the 8th graders that spent the majority of our middle school years in a global pandemic, and we got to see firsthand how society's perspective has changed. There's a quote by Martin Luther King that says, Our lives begin to end the day we become silent to things that matter. During these last 2 years, we as a society have opened our eyes up to the injustices in this world, and we have chosen to speak up and to demand for change. In order to make our world a world in which everyone can feel safe and accepted no matter their race, sexuality, or religious beliefs. But there's still more to be done. So I challenge all my peers to continue to speak up about the injustices in this world and to demand for a world that is just and peaceful for all. I'd like to share another quote by Jin Ron. It's not what happens. It's what you do that determines your future. I feel these words are the perfect representation of what COVID-19 has forced us to learn. Although none of us wanted this, I believe we've all learned a very important lesson throughout these last 2 years. And that lesson is a lesson of perseverance. Perseverance means putting an extra effort into all your assignments, trying your best during the 1-mile run, or even just waking up in the morning when you felt like sleeping in. But this lesson came at a great cost, the cost of a normal middle school experience. Although our middle school experiences aren't considered normal, the ones we did have were truly unforgettable. Grade 7, October. We were all sent off to an overnight trip. We were able to make our first memories together. Staying up all night talking about who knows what, learning how to use a bow and arrow, and for some of my brave friends, jumping into the freezing cold lake. Being the youngest students in the school, trying to navigate our way through the busy hallways, trying to close our jam-packed lockers, and listening to the end of the day announcements and praying our names weren't called. Making sure teachers could only see our foreheads in Zoom class, and checking every 2 seconds to make sure our mics were off. I've truly missed the smiles of the lunch ladies. Anyways, now I'd like to tell you a story about the most embarrassing time of my life. When I was in grade 2, my piano teacher signed me up for this competition. The piece that I was going to play was a piece that I was able to play with my eyes closed. So, on the day of the competition, when my dad asked me, "Do you want to practice one more time?" I said with all the confidence in the world, "No, Dad, why would I need to practice one more time? I could play the song in my sleep." When we got to the competition, everybody else was holding up their piano books and tapping their fingers on the chairs like they were practicing Morse code, while I was sitting there on my dad's phone playing Subway Surfers. When it came my turn to play, I placed my hands onto the piano and my mind suddenly went blank. I'd forgotten everything. I don't know how I got home that day, but when I did, I ran directly to my room and refused to come out. Because I knew if I did, when I did, I'd have to face the consequences of my mistake. But eventually, I got out of bed, and instead of throwing away all the evidence of my failure, I walked to my piano and I played that song over and over again until I was sure I would never forget it. So, why did I tell you this story? Did I want to brag about how I now have a forever blueprint of a song embedded into my head? No. Okay, maybe just a little. But the point of this story is that we have or will experience failure at one point or another. But it's how you respond to the failure. You can either admit defeat and give up, or you can try again. Don't be afraid of failure. Believe that you can. Believe that you can overcome challenges. Believe that you can be successful. Believe that you can be victorious. Like Jin Ron said, it's not what happens, it's what you do that determines your future. We're going into high school next year, and our decisions will have higher consequences. So we cannot move forward with the mindset that we are prepared for whatever life has to throw at us. So we need to accept failure and learn from them to not only better ourselves, but also to better our future. So if you take anything away from my speech today, let it be this. I know a lot of you here enjoy playing basketball. And although I personally don't know much about basketball, what I do know is that Michael Jordan, a basketball legend, didn't earn his reputation for being one of the best basketball players of his time by giving up whenever he missed a shot. So try again. Give yourself another chance at success. I challenge all my peers to continue to thrive, to achieve their goals, and to make a difference in this world. I would like to end my speech today by thanking all the teachers and staff and all the parents who have supported us throughout these last 2 years. Because without each and every one of you, we wouldn't be where we are today. Thank you.
We are now going to present our Subject Academic Achievement Awards. These awards are presented to a student with one of the highest academic averages and someone who has shown a special interest in the subject. Our first award goes to Jay Codron for the Dramatic Arts. This year's Music Award goes to Daniel Markinson. The Visual Arts Award is presented to Emma Ross. This year's English Award goes to Cindy Fang. And the French Award goes to Noah Kasami. This year's Geography Award is presented to Daniel Markinson. The History Award goes to Izzy Galansky. Max Harriet is the winner of this year's Technology Award. The Mathematics Award goes to Joanne Hugh and Stephen Peng Shi. The female recipient of the Physical and Health Education Award is Cindy Fang, and the male recipient is Stephen Peng Shi. The Science Award goes to Tristan Samaraskira. Congratulations to all of our academic award winners this evening. We are now going to take some time to recognize all of our graduates of 2021. Kyle Anderson. Atta Fard Ardakani, Honor Roll. Youssef Azim. Sama Babea, Honor Roll. Christian Baldessera. Charlie Beater. Sam Belchez, Honor Roll with Distinction. Griffin Brown. Fraser Bryant. Mikkel Campbell, Honor Roll with Distinction. Richard Chen. Jay Codron, Honor Roll with Distinction. Jaden Connors, Honor Roll with Distinction. Charlotte Cottle, Honor Roll. Jade Desi, Honor Roll with Distinction. Daniel Diwali. Romeo Di Battista. Constantine Dimokolopoulos. Lily Duckman, Honor Roll. Sylvia Ibrahim Adhimi, Honor Roll with Distinction. Vienna Ibrahim Adhimi, Honor Roll with Distinction. Surin Ibrahim Zadid, Honor Roll. Luke Eliari, Honor Roll. Tyler Elwood, Honor Roll. Cindy Fang, Honor Roll with Distinction. Liam Fu, Honor Roll. Izzy Galansky, Honor Roll with Distinction. Yujin Yi, Honor Roll with Distinction. Sophie Hawker, Honor Roll. Regine Henra, Honor Roll. Max Harriet, Honor Roll. Sammy Hibbert, Honor Roll. Joanne Hu, Honor Roll with Distinction. Robert Huang, Honor Roll with Distinction. Tom Huang, Honor Roll. Ryder Jackson, Honor Roll with Distinction. Noah Kasami, Honor Roll with Distinction. Tyler Katz, Honor Roll. Sophie Kenny, Honor Roll. William Kerwin, Honor Roll. Mirhab Lasker. Julia Lessam, Honor Roll with Distinction. Bill Lee, Honor Roll. Sean Lopez Fitzgerald, Honor Roll with Distinction. Tai Liu, Honor Roll. Evan Malkasian, Honor Roll. Daniel Markison, Honor Roll with Distinction. Tyann Mateos Adderley, Honor Roll. Ewan McChesney, Honor Roll. Ash McEwen, Honor Roll. Harrison McLean, Honor Roll. Ryan Michaels, Honor Roll. Jared Milberg. Lyndon Mole. Abdin Mohammed, Honor Roll. Rylan Morell. Griffin Morgan, Honor Roll. Andrew Morrison, Honor Roll. Jaden Newton, Honor Roll. Exu Ni, Honor Roll. Ethan Norris, Honor Roll. Jake O'Brien, Honor Roll. Kate Pan, Honor Roll. Julian Pandofsky, Honor Roll. Stephen Pen Shi, Honor Roll with Distinction. Selena Wren, Honor Roll. Emma Ross, Honor Roll with Distinction. Leela Rudin. Eve Ross, Honor Roll. Tristan Saramaskira, Honor Roll with Distinction. Real Sati, Honor Roll. Eddie Siegel, Honor Roll with Distinction. Edward Shen, Honor Roll. Elizaveta Staroff, Honor Roll. Nikita Staroff, Honor Roll. Liam Stern, Honor Roll with Distinction. Kaylee Tang, Honor Roll with Distinction. Yale Todd, Honor Roll with Distinction. Nicholas Volkenborn, Honor Roll. Bennett White, Honor Roll with Distinction. Alice Yang, Honor Roll. Kaya Zarbafi, Honor Roll. Michael Zing, Honor Roll with distinction. Ladies and gentlemen, our Grade 8 class of 2021. Congratulations, graduates, you have done it. This now brings us to our final two awards of the evening. I'd like to introduce Assistant Heads Phil Santamero and Dave Heacock to present these awards.
The Laura Gandolfi Award is presented by the faculty annually to a graduating grade 8 student who daily demonstrates the traits of honesty, integrity, kindness, consideration, dedication, a sense of community, and involvement at the school. These qualities were evident in the late Laura Gandolfi, a faculty member at Crestwood Preparatory College. Congratulations to this year's recipients.
And the winners are two very deserving young men, Sammy Hibbert and Eddie Siegel. Congratulations.
The Crestwood Preparatory College Honor Award is presented to the individual with the highest overall academic achievement in the grade 8 year.
The winner of this year's Honor Award is Daniel Markinson. Congratulations. I would now like to introduce Headmaster Vince Pagano to share some final words with our graduates.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin in this very unique setting by congratulating all our grads and their families tonight. COVID has brought an American graffiti revival to our doorstep that will remain an exemplar of COVID ingenuity for many, many years to come. My thanks to all the folks who saw possibilities here and made it happen. It is also a sign that come rain or come shine, COVID or no COVID, and certainly in language that is non-American graffiti lingo, we've got you. This is a far from perfect setting, but it has more heart and soul than any other graduation we've celebrated in the last 20 years. Let's be grateful then for what we have than for what we don't have. A common theme in our lives in the last year and a half. As I write this, we are exploring ways to enhance the graduation experience at the drive-in. With only 2 weeks left, we still don't know what the final result will be. Having already projected, predicted, reacted, re-reacted, and compromised in hundreds of different ways and have lived to talk about it, we should not be afraid. Grade 8s, you have been through the unheard of challenges and emerged victorious, more mature, wise, perhaps melancholy, but reinforced in your belief that if you can handle COVID, and you did, you can handle anything. Our responses to hardship during the COVID crucible has made us confident warriors. That alone will have made thousands of sacrifices worthwhile. Our grade 8 graduates have passed more than their grade 8 curriculum this year. A personal thanks to their parents and their teachers for helping navigate these rough waters so admirably. Graduation is a more poignant event for our grade 12s. Year past is more accomplished and more critical years and challenges lie ahead. I've known you always to set the right example. You have really been remarkable during the most difficult of years. Tonight, you are setting another good example for the class of 2025. You are a poised, intelligent, and creative group, ready to embrace more opportunities, knowing that your effort and your attitude will complement the army of teachers and family members that helped you get here. They will continue to be there for you in later years. You also have gained from the adversity of this past year. I have no doubt that all of these put together will serve you and your noble ambitions well as you move forward. You have all the skills and raw materials to be strong, confident members of your families and your communities. Nothing more will be required of you. You are now alumni of one of the finest schools and educational institutions in Southern Ontario. While there may not be tangible rewards in this achievement, the emotional, professional, and psychological support that has and will still be available to you will provide indispensable encouragement to you in later years. Please keep in touch and always keep the golden rule as your guiding principle. We will miss all of you. Before packing up for your next journey, make sure you thank all those who have made the last ones with you and will still be around if and when the chips fall again. And they will to some extent, depending on circumstances and the different challenges that lay ahead. Your parents have been through a very rough time and are still smiling and proud as proverbial punch today. Your teachers redefined the lesson and communication universe and didn't complain once. 3 sets of heroes who make us who we are, a strong, resilient, committed, and today a celebratory community. My thanks to the many people who put this program together. A special thanks to Alex Doherty, Jeff Fong, Dwight Drummond, and our valedictorians for their words of inspiration tonight. I hope to see you all soon. Good night, all. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and thank you.
And that brings us to the conclusion of our Grade 8 2021 graduation. I'd like to thank you all for being here, and we will begin our Grade 12 ceremony momentarily.